Big Wavy Johnson, Eatin and Cheatin, and today I'll give you an update on my competition prep. Righto, so as you should be aware, anyone who's been watching any of my videos or follows me on social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you should know I'm doing a bodybuilding competition and I'm knee deep in prep. In fact, by the time this video comes out, I will be roughly 6 weeks out from my competition. So I thought it'd be appropriate to give you guys an update. And the plan for this going forward is to probably give you an update every 2 weeks. Every week's probably a lot. 6 weeks out, and essentially here's how I'm feeling about everything. Now, my prep started off quite slow. I felt quite slow. I wasn't really shifting the weight, and then all of a sudden, bang, I dropped 5 kilos. And now the weight's steadily coming off week on week. I'm dropping about a kilo a week. My body weight at the moment, my body weight this morning anyway was 91.5 kgs. I started prep around about 96 points. Something maybe a bit higher. But yeah, the weight's coming off. I'm feeling a bit leaner. I don't feel bloated like I had been just before I started the prep. And my strength is holding up pretty well. In fact, in quite a lot of exercises, my strength is going up. But I had this weird thing. Well, it's not weird, but when I'm on prep and say, for example, my push day that I had this morning, I am making great progress on incline Smith bench. Now, what usually happens when I'm in prep, if I do well on one pressing exercise, the other one will suffer. This always happens. So I hit all my intended sets and reps with my chosen weight for Smith incline bench today, which means it's going to go up next week. But when I went to the dumbbell press, I had regressed because I progressed in another press. This is how I am with regards to prep on lower calories and stuff. Speaking of calories, I am currently on about 2,500 calories a day. On a rest day, about 1,800 calories. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole showing you what I eat and all that sort of stuff, but what I am going to do is show you it right here. Now, let me move across so I can scoot in. So, as you see, meal 1, egg whites and 2 whole eggs. I have that with some spinach. I usually have that roughly about 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning. I start my day at work at 9. It all depends whether I train in the morning or not, but I move bits about. But essentially, assuming that I train in the evening, which I should be doing anyway, 9:30, that's my breakfast. I'll have that after I've had my morning green shake. I tend to, at the moment, space up my meals maybe every 2.5 hours. So 12 o'clock, I'll have my meal 2, which is 200 grams of chicken breast and some spinach or greens of my choice, usually spinach or broccoli. Meal 3 is, again, chicken breast, 150 grams of chicken breast with a small amount of jasmine rice, about 50 grams or so. I usually have that roughly, probably about 2:30-ish. It can flex about from day to day. I try to eat every 2.5 hours, see how I'm feeling. But essentially, I just work back from when I'm due to train, just to make sure I have an hour and a half before I train for my last training meal, which is 150 grams of chicken breast, 100 grams of jasmine rice with greens of my choice, and in addition to that, usually some onions and a banana. Now, on my plan, as you see there, I can have cream of rice instead of jasmine rice. And when I usually have cream of rice, I tend to have that with whey isolate, 40 grams rather than chicken breast, because I just want to mix it all in, gobble it all up and get myself mentally prepared for my gym session. During the gym, I have my intro workout shake, which includes maltodextrin, EAAs and creatine. Just have that in a big jug of water and intend to finish that during my workout. Post-workout, I'll either have cereal and whey isolate with some Glycomax GDAs. You'll notice on my plan here, it doesn't mention that. No, I meant to have bagels, 2 bagels with some jam and obviously the aforementioned protein shake, and I kind of flip between the two, depends on how I'm feeling. Essentially, it's the same macro-wise, it's just whether I feel like having cereal, which a lot of times I do because I love cereal, but also I also love the bagels, so either or. And then after that, maybe an hour or so after that, I'll have my final meal of the day, which will just simply be beef mince, onions and peppers, 150 grams worth. Not a lot, not a big meal, so it doesn't really leave me full going for bed, and I don't generally like having carbs as my last meal. I don't want to go to bed with carbs sitting on my stomach, even though it doesn't do anything negative towards me. It's just something I don't like. Bit of bro science, maybe. As you also know, I documented the whole of my prep for my first bodybuilding competition just because I wanted to have that as a memento, souvenir, whatever, for my first competition, which was meant to be my only competition, but then I qualified for the British finals. Now, when I was looking back at that, I was getting quite worried because when my weight was higher and wasn't budging as compared to where I was at that point out from the competition, and I was obviously clearly ahead because prep was well on its way, and I was losing weight, dropping fat, etc. I compare myself now where I am. I only have the week 7 update to go by because obviously, as I mentioned, we're in the middle of week 6, and by the time this goes out, I would have had my check-in. But I'm now finally at the point where I am equal to or better than where I was at the last competition, which has given me a massive confidence boost. If only going by the scales. But if I go by pictures as well, and why not? I got the space. I'll put a comparison picture right here any second now. But you can see how I'm looking from week 7 or 7 weeks out on my last competition and 7 weeks out in this competition. So to the naked, untrained eye, there probably isn't much difference there, but I know what I can see and what I can feel and what's to come, that I'm in a good place. My coach is also happy that I'm in a good place 7 weeks out, so that's all good. Posing wise, I've been working on my posing every day. Something I didn't do the last prep, and I had to get coaching, which I'm going to do in a couple of weeks and get a session with my coaching just to work with transitions and make sure I've not picked up any bad habits in doing my posing on my own in competitions. But yeah, I've been working on my posing every day, so I feel better for that because 5 weeks out from my last show, I was learning to pose all over again from fresh because I had it all wrong. As you can see, that was my posing. Me and my pants, if you like it, if you don't. The diet's going well. I'm actually having more calories this time around than I did last time around, which is good. The plan for this one is to have me come in for this competition a little bit earlier, and so we don't have to go so drastic on the calories. So that's what drastic on the calories and cardio and steps. Cardio and steps. How do I forget my friend cardio and the steps? I'm currently on 12,500 steps a day, which I find pretty easy and manageable with my lifestyle at the moment. I work from home, so to get my steps in, essentially all I need to do really is just go for a walk around the park in the morning, a walk around the park at lunchtime, and then the steps that I cover in the gym usually covers the rest of it. If not, I'll just jump on the treadmill until I get the rest. And I've got a treadmill at home, so it's quite easy to do that when I get home from the gym. Cardio wise, I am currently on 40 minutes of cardio every day, and what I'm trying to do at the moment is get that cardio done in the morning, first thing in the morning. 40 minutes of cardio, whilst it's not a lot, it's not horrendous, it's not like an hour or whatever, it's a lot easier to get that done first thing in the morning and not have to add that to your training session, because I don't want to be in the gym all day. I just don't. I'm hoping that it won't be increased too much within that. It's the lazy person within me, but everything on that front seems to be going okay. So that's all the meat and potatoes of my prep. How I'm actually feeling mentally, not gonna lie, I'm finding this a bit more difficult than I did the previous prep, only because I had a lot longer in the last one. I had 20 weeks. This time around, I have had 10, 11 weeks. Obviously, I'm coming back from doing on the back of another competition, so I'm going into this prep at a leaner base, but I'm finding this one harder purely because I was eating pretty well before this one. Not, all out assault kind of thing, but eating what my coach had prescribed and then having a free meal once a week, which would it was something to look forward to. If I felt like having a burger, some ice cream or whatever, I'd do that But now, because I've done that, I've got so used to doing that, I kind of have the taste for it, which is making things a bit more difficult. In addition to that, I'm finding being around people who are eating junk food and stuff to be quite torturous. And that's no slight on anyone who I'm around and stuff. I've got a fantastic support network. Girlfriend and my family, they've been fantastic with everything. But things like, I went to mum's as she was having dinner, her natural maternal instincts and just to offer me food. Obviously, I had to turn it down because I'm on prep, but it smelled delicious and it looked delicious and I really wanted to eat it. Then my sister came round and she hadn't had any dinner. Her and her husband then later joined us, and they ordered KFC for takeaway, which I had to sit and watch them eat, and it smelled amazing. And that just makes me want to have junk food, but I'm not going to do it. It's never going to be an issue where I'm going to slip off and eat something horrendous and throw myself off course. It makes things a little bit more difficult. Aside from that, the mental stuff in terms of cravings and just wanting it to be done, it's not far away. 6 weeks will go by nothing. I don't feel like I'm missing out on much this prep plan. And in fact, I'm allowing myself to do more things for my mental well-being, to enjoy life a bit more. Now, I've been away for 2 weekends during this prep, and I've only been able to make it work because I've planned everything out. I planned all my meals out. I still stuck to all my meals. I've still trained. I've still got quality sleep in. I've still got my steps in. I've still got my cardio in. So I haven't slipped up on any aspects of that. And I'm still able to see other parts of the world, albeit locally, Europe and such, and spend time with people I care about, my family, my girlfriend, friends. I'm not hiding myself away in my flat and be like, no, don't turn the phone off and ignore people. No, I've been doing loads of fun stuff. Recently, I went to Notting Hill Carnival, took my food with me there. I went to Jurassic Park exhibition with the girlfriend, which is fantastic. Took all my food and stuff there. When this lands, I will have been to the WWE Clash at the Castle show in Cardiff, and my plan there, of course, is to take my prepped food with me. And if it gets to a point where I can't go into the stadium with my food, I will eat right at the gate, sit there, watch the show with a Diet Coke, and then eat again afterwards, because that's just what I do now. So yeah, essentially, prep's going well. I'm happy, and I'm happy with my physique. I would like to be in a position where I'm leaner and that I look like I'm show ready, a few weeks before the show, and then I just maintain where I'm at, whether that be through refeeds and the like. That's the ideal situation, but I'm confident I'm going to get where I need to be. In terms of people I'm going to be competing against, I have no idea, but I imagine the standard's going to be very high. My aim in this show is to place, to get a top 3. I know it's going to be a show with a lot of entrants and people I have to compete against, and it's going to be difficult, but I have no idea who's going to turn up. Just have to do my best on the day, and that's all I can think about, really. So yeah, prep's going well. Mentally, I'm in a good place for it as well. I've got good support around me, and there's nothing that's going to hold me back and slip me up. I would like to have, obviously, an indulgent treat. Would like some chocolate, would like some ice cream, would like some pizza, kebab, Five Guys, Chinese takeaway, carvery, buffet breakfast, fish and chips, curry. I want to go to one of them world grill restaurants and just pig out and everything, but I'm not going to. And I'm probably not going to after the competition as well. But I do know that when it's all done, I'm going to hit a Five Guys. I'm really going to enjoy it. This is weird because I'm losing weight and stuff, and I'm looking leaner, but I don't feel big anymore. And this is an indication of anything, because I like to wear loose-fitting tops now. I've binned all my tight clothes, and I like to go for the relaxed or the oversized fit for all my clothes now. No idea why. I just prefer it. It feels a lot more comfortable. But I don't feel big. I don't feel lean. But I'm leaner than I was before when I was bigger. But when I did my prep last time, I know when I got to like 2-3 weeks out and I was walking around in a vest, how good I looked. As you can see, like all sorts of lines and cuts and striations, and I was getting compliments here, there, everywhere, right, left, centre from people in the gym, people in the street, people in the supermarket. But I was a lot smaller in terms of weight. So that's the cover. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks for another update on my prep, and hopefully you'll be seeing and noticing some new details and some new lines in my physique. Like, subscribe, comment for the algorithm. If you want to support me, you can get one of these lovely bits of merchandise from my big cartel. So I've still got some in stock, so get on that. If you're into wrestling and you want to see me wrestle, this is where I'm going to be in the next few weeks or so. Please come down, please come say hi. Please enjoy the show. Please buy my merch. Please buy colleagues' merch, other fellow wrestlers. Support us. We're working real hard. Until next time, keep eating, keep cheating.